Good enough with this. Thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again. Sounds like California. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on this video. Customer that owns a brand new Sportster S is having issues with their extended warranty and their Sportster S. And we're talking major issues. Alright, so long video short, he took his bike in for repairs. He was having issues in year 2 when it was still under warranty. Took it to the dealership. They found no issues with it, of course. And as he kept on riding the bike, it got noticeably worse until the point where it started making knocking noise and stuff that's just abnormal. Year 3 is when the bike took a dump on him. Alright, so he took it into his local dealer, and luckily he does have extended warranty, but Harley Davidson was denying the claim. Alright, so what does that mean? That means he's gonna have to pay out of pocket. Alright, so they're gonna give you an option. You could either pay the diagnostic fee, which is probably about $200, or you could pay the repair, which at the time of him uploading the video, it was around $13,000. You guys can imagine, $13,000 repair, brand new engine. That's huge for a bike that's probably worth $13,000. So he paid $18,000 for the bike. Repair's going to cost him $13,000. The bike has 6,000 miles on it, and it's 3 years old. So if you guys look at your marketplace on the used market, you guys, I can almost assure you, you'll find a Sportster S for about $13,000. So, you know, based off of his first video, of course, Harley Davidson said that the issue was this exhaust. That's what they claim. The reason why I have it paused on this screen is because I wanted to show you guys what his exhaust looks like. Now, based off of what he has in the background and based off of this image, I can't really tell because he does have a wrap on his exhaust. I believe it might be a slip-on. I don't know. Maybe he purchased this muffler from TBR and then he retrofitted it on the bike. I'm not entirely sure if TBR sells slip-ons for the Sportster S. I really don't know. But somehow Harley's blaming him or blaming the exhaust for the failure. How is that possible? There could be a few different reasons. As a service writer, it could be the tune. All right, you're introducing more flow in the exhaust, meaning the engine's going to run leaner, and if you run it lean, it's going to get hotter, and if it gets hotter, then components in the engine might start to break down. All right, because of course you have oil. You're supposed to keep it in its sweet spot, 220 degrees, to maximize its efficiency of lubing and cooling down the engine. And if you're compromising the oil, then you're compromising the engine. That's what I'm basing off of my own experience as a service writer. All right, so that's where I'm drawing from that. He doesn't mention any of this in the video. Like most of these videos, they don't talk about the service side. This is customer. So based off of the information that he provides in his videos, I could kind of, you know, just kind of give you guys an insight of what my experience is as a service writer. But of course, the service writer is supposed to contact HD. They're supposed to show them what they found. And of course, they're going to have a list of things that's on the bike as far as mods. I don't know if it's tuned or, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't know. But, you know, based off of that, from what he's mentioned, it appears that someone from Harley HD Canada went out to check out the bike. And that's usually what happens when you're really trying, when your service writer's really trying to take care of you. They got to, of course, you know, approve the claim in person. So somebody at HD corporate had to go take a look at the bike and verify, because initially they weren't going to cover the claim, even if you do have extended warranty. And it could be, like I said, it could be the exhaust or it could be the tune. As far as the tune, he never mentioned anything about a tune that he had on the bike. Anyways, getting on to part 2 of the video, of course, he does mention that Harley decided to cover, I say, 80% of the cost. So based off of his information, he was going to have to pay $2,900 worth of repairs to get his bike back on the road, which is pretty much BS. I mean, it sucks. All right, but he's pretty happy about it because he doesn't have to pay the $13,000 that he was going to pay to fix his bike. And at 3 years, I'm pretty sure the bike is still financed if he had financed the bike. So you can imagine having payments on a bike that's pretty much garbage. All right. Can you imagine still having 3 years of payments on a bike that you can no longer ride? Absolutely sucks. Now he's going to only pay $3,000. And based off of my own experience, once again, and the labor rate with these dealers, you're pretty much, what I believe is he's paying the labor at the $3,000 mark. Because if you multiply, if you divide 2,900, divide that by $180 per hour, he's paying 16 hours worth of labor. So I'm guessing, based on my experience, Harley's providing the parts free of charge. Free of charge, which is what he mentioned in the video. I believe $11,000 worth of goods. Technically, you cut that in half, cost, and quite honestly, Harley's not, paying $6,000, $5,000 worth of parts. They're probably in materials. They're much, much lower than that, because there's also the cost and 10% markup on top of their parts. So if you work at a dealership, you guys get that discount. If you guys don't know, working at a dealership with the manufacturer, you get a huge 50% discount on. You're pretty much just paying cost plus whatever your dealer wants you to pay. 5%, 10%, it really depends. So it appears to me that Harley's providing the parts, and he's going to have to pay the labor. I don't think he knows that in this video. I don't think he knows that. So 16 hours of labor, that's what he's looking at. I don't know, what other way to kind of go about this. Of course, the dealership could, eat some of that cost, but why should they? Why should they eat that cost? Why should the dealer? I mean, he's pretty much right about, but I like I said, it really depends on what Harley corporate found with his Sportster. So I just wanted to show you guys, of course, the exhaust. You guys can see right here, that's the exhaust on the Sportster S. You can see that's just the muffler. That's just the exhaust. So I wonder, like I mentioned, if that TBR is just a slip-on. So obviously you can see it right here in the back. So I don't know. This video is just pretty much, I guess, just to give a little bit of insight on what he's going through. He's going to be paying, 16 hours worth of labor. Did I say 16 or did I say 18? So he's going to be paying 2 days worth of labor to get the bike back on the road. The other thing that I also wanted to mention is, of course, Harley does not pay what you and I pay at the dealership. Harley pays half of that. All right. They typically pay like $75 to $65 an hour when it comes to warranty repair and warranty work. And a lot of the times, the book time's completely different when it comes to the customer and what Harley Davidson pays. All right, because I've seen the PDIs and I've seen the hours and I've seen the work orders, the purchase orders, all this other stuff. The manufacturers, they don't pay anywhere near the regular hourly rate that you and I pay.
I have extended warranty. I've only put like 10,000 kilometers on the bike, which is like 6,000 miles in 2.5 years. In Canada, I'm lucky.
That's low miles. All right, 6,000 miles. That's very low, and for it to be, only 3 years old, there's some issues here, of course. So, I mean, there's a lot of new technology in this Revolution Max. Of course, they have slash adjusters. They have, as far as the way the engine works as well, it's an overhead cam engine. Harley hasn't really manufactured. I mean, yes, you have the V-Rod, but you guys got to remember Porsche developed that engine, and I believe Porsche was the one that was building that engine. The Revolution Max, this is Harley's first attempt at a liquid-cooled overhead cam B-twin. All right, this is their first. You guys remember the Pan America, Sportster S, electrical issues. Currently, even the 2024's Milwaukee 8s, the towing models are having some issues. So it's just, when you release a new product, there's always fine-tuning Of course, Harley manufacturer, they have stockholders. They want to maximize their profits. So they're going to be cutting costs here and there. And, of course, there's many ways to do it. Ever since 2007, 2008, Harley has been looking at all these cost-cutting measures. And, you know, what ends up failing, of course, is their product. It is what it is. And so it's basically, you know, a little game where they're playing with, let's use, instead of using billet aluminum, let's use forged. Instead of using steel, let's use plastic. You guys see what, you know, they're doing. Instead of having a supplier of their wires or the sensors or whatever, which could be in Mexico, let's go ahead and switch over to China because they're going to do it for cheaper. So they're always swapping out these parts, cutting costs, and, you know, little by little, they figure out where they could improve over time with these warranty claims. And if they're seeing, you know, 20,000 bikes with the same issue, then that's when they'll switch over to a different supplier or someone else, or they're going to look for improvements as far as, you know, those components. It happens. We see what happened with the pump. That's another issue. They figured it out by 2019. You know, just the same thing with the comp. That's another thing. I believe they just addressed it in 2023, 2024, the comp, the ramp. So it's always it's just a game where they're playing with cutting costs, and then they see where the warranty and the issues come along, and then they'll address it. My only issue is, of course, is all those models that's already out there without extended warranty, without factory warranty. Eventually, those models are going to fail, and Harley's not going to do anything about those. So that's where I'm at with, you know, this little game that they play. Instead of having a solid product from day one, they have something that's iffy. They see how it performs, and, you know, and they see what happens. You know, even cutting costs on like the bolts that they're using. What happened with the recall as far as the rear shock adjuster on the Softails. You know, there was also the other recall where the CVOs or the touring models back in 2023, I believe, or something along those lines, they had a different supplier of brake lines, and then those were failing. So they're always cutting costs. And, of course, when they switch to a supplier, they don't know the wear and tear or how much they could actually withstand the elements until they have it on the bike. And then a year down or 2 year down, year number 2 down the road, that's when they start seeing these issues. And then by the end, they expect you to cover it because it's already out of factory warranty, which is 2 years and limited miles. Let's get on back with the video. It's almost over. I'm just going to play a little bit.
So the bike doesn't really get a whole ton of use. It's had a bunch of issues on year 2. Year 3, I can't even ride it. Now, to me, this is unacceptable. The bike is 2.5 years old. I have warranty, the engine lets go, and I have to pay for a portion of the repair. Why are you passing the buck on to your customers who bought your product, who bought the extended warranty, and frankly, they're trying to screw me?
You see, that's the reason why I always, or a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of us say, don't buy year 1. I mean, yes, you want to support the company. Yes, you want to support the manufacturer by buying year 1 models. If nobody was buying year 1 models, then Harley wouldn't risk any R&D. Harley wouldn't risk anything on developing a new product like we saw with the Milwaukee 8 and with this Revolution Max engines. People have to buy them in year 1 so Harley can keep supporting it and, of course, and keep building them. If everybody didn't buy year 1 models, then you know, we wouldn't find the issues. We wouldn't know what's going on. We wouldn't know what Harley has to revisit or revise. I know a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people say don't buy year 1, but we need people like this as guinea pigs. Unfortunately, they're guinea pigs to test out these models and put them through their paces, so Harley can look at the warranty claims and figure out where they have to improve the design. So like I said, my only issue is that Harley has to support these guys, all right, these folks that are buying year 1 models, which are faulty, all right, they're faulty, and Harley really has to, you know, help them out. I mean, these guys are supporting the brand. all right, by buying year one products. That's really going to have some issues, right? You guys have been seeing the 2024 videos, the 2023 videos with the M8s, the toy models, the new ones, all right? Same thing, like I mentioned, and all the folks that bought 2017, 2018 models with the faulty pump that Harley's not going to fix, all right? That's where Harley should really focus on the consumer and the support to help those folks out. That's why I always, I made those videos where Harley should really do a recall, because even though you're not seeing the issues, air-cooled V-twin, but sometimes that pump can sump your top end, and it could overheat, and it could start breaking the intake, breaking other plastic components, heat, wear and tear, friction, glazing of the cylinder walls, piston ring failures. I mean, there's just so many things that are tied to the pump, and if it's a faulty pump, I believe Harley should really go back and help out those customers, the early adopters of the M8, and Harley just doesn't care. Same thing with this guy. He probably owned one of the first Sportsters up there in Canada. He even bought the extended warranty, and Harley doesn't care to make sure or to support him, because he supported Harley Davidson, and Harley's not gonna do him a solid for being a guinea pig. For being a guinea pig, and for supporting Harley Davidson. I think it's a failure on Harley's part. I've always mentioned it. I wouldn't buy a year one model. I wouldn't do it. Not to put up with these issues. And then if you guys been seeing my TikTok, all those issues, I wouldn't do it. Especially with some of the processing power. I don't know what's going on with the Skyline OS and the 2024s. It's got some issues. I'm not going to be one of those guys to buy a 2024 and then only to see the improvements probably in 2026, where you don't have to wait so long for it to boot up. You don't have to wait so long for the sensors to activate. You don't have to wait or having the issue of your battery dying every 3 days of not moving the bike. I'm pretty sure Harley's going to figure out where the power draws are at in the ECU by 2026, 2027. But are they going to go back and fix those 2024s or those 2023s or those 2025s? Are they going to go back and address those issues? Maybe it's a harness. Maybe it's something. They won't. They're not going to. All right. Even there was a cam sensor issue that I saw in another video. $1,800 repair. Are they going to go back and fix all of those bikes? They're not. So everybody that supported Harley year one 2024 models, they're pretty much screwed. So 2026, 2027, that's probably when they're going to work out all these bugs. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Let's risk it out there and ride. Later.